So, guys, welcome. So the background to this is that I like doing training for real estate agents, and we're always trying to do high value stuff for the real estate industry. I love being able to be a blessing to the real estate industry. I've been in this game for over 20 years. I've been a real estate trainer. We've trained tens of thousands of agents through the years. And it really is a blessing to me to know that there's something that I've done that has helped people in their businesses. And I've had many, many agents come to me through the years and say to me, you know, your course on working by referral 20 years ago called the Turning Point Retreat, that thing changed my life. To this day, I'm still using it. What an amazing thing for each of us to be able to live our life knowing that we've had an impact. And so putting on stuff like this is an opportunity for me to take an expert in a field, someone who is doing something really well, and then just give them a platform and say, yeah, teach the agents of South Africa how to do this. So many of you were on the previous webinar we did with Neil Robinson on Instagram. That was a three-session series we did with him, which was unbelievable. And huge value in that. A lot of people, I actually follow a lot of the guys that came on the webinar on Instagram, and I'm seeing now they're starting to do some videos, they're starting to do some shorts and reels and things, and copying some of the techniques that Neil taught them. It's wonderful. So Andre Vorster, he is one of my partners at EXP. He is a very successful agent. He and his wife Lydia work as a team in the northern suburbs of Cape Town. They were some of the top selling Remax agents around, and then moved to EXP about 2 years ago, Andre. And they are now two of the most successful EXP agents we've got 1,000 agents in EXP in South Africa. And they, in fact, Lydia, who's the selling agent side of their partnership, she was nominated as the Agent of the Year last year for EXP. So this is a very successful couple. And Andre he's good on his tech, and he's been intrigued by ChatGPT for quite a long time now, and its applications in real estate, and they've been using it in their business. And some of the team around him started asking him, hey, Andre, can't you teach us how to do this? Like, teach us how to use it, and what are all the applications for it? And you know, we don't want the complex stuff like how to put chat bots on your website. We just want to know, for the average estate agent, how can I use this thing? And Andre very kindly just started doing some training courses in local venues in the northern suburbs. And he's done it a few times, and the more he did it, the more people wanted to know it, and the crowds were getting bigger. So I then said to him, no, come on, Andre, you've got something here. You've got a skill. You've done a bunch of research. He's watched hours of stuff that guys overseas are producing. I said, come on, let's serve the industry with it. Let's put on a webinar and invite people to it. So that's what's brought us to today. And I want to thank Andre for being willing to share of his expertise and time. I know that you will also thank him. And I'm going to hand over to Andre now as he takes us through his presentation. So Andre, without any further ado, I hand it over to you with my thanks.
Thank you very much for that, Steve. That was a very overwhelming introduction almost. But yeah, Steve hit it on the head. We are agents in Durbanville. We have been agents here since 2005. My wife Lydia and I, and we are just agents. I'm not a trainer by profession, so please do be with me. And I'm also not necessarily. I'm not an owner or a shareholder in OpenAI or anything like that. I've just started putting it to use and doing a lot of research, and we found that there is a lot of value in it for the agents around us. So I started sort of presenting to them, and eventually to those were agents in our team, and then eventually also just to agents that we network with a lot in the northern suburbs. We started presenting to them. And yes, I mean, you can see now we've got 1,000 registrations today. It's really the buzzword at the moment. Artificial intelligence really is the buzzword these days. It's definitely changing the game in many industries. We mustn't be fooled into thinking that it's not going to impact our businesses, because it definitely will in some way or another. But the good news is I do not believe that it is going to replace us at all. And if we make good use of it, it can make our businesses a lot more efficient and more creative, and then also more profitable. So let's just all embrace it and learn how to use it to our advantage. Okay, I'm going to just quickly start sharing my screen here. Okay, and that's the thing. We've got to embrace technology. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind by the other agents that do embrace technology. And they will eventually make us irrelevant. Okay, just for a start, this is something I found quite funny. This maybe best describes just artificial intelligence in general in a nutshell these days. So there you can see. So a daughter asks her father, "Why do you always speak so quietly at home?" And the father replies, "It's because there's artificial intelligence that listens to everything we say." Now, of course, the daughter laughs and the father laughs, but shortly thereafter, Alexa laughs. And then Siri laughs. That's very true, actually, and very apt these days. But anyway, on a more serious note, as you'll see there. Okay, just a quick introduction. Artificial intelligence is basically the simulation of human intelligence. So that's where machines are programmed and taught to simulate what people can actually do and to act and think like humans. But the difference is the machines, once they're programmed, can actually do all those things much faster and more efficiently than us humans. So just a couple of examples of AI that's been around for a long time in our lives. For instance, just look at the Netflix thing there. When you go into Netflix and it tells you, because you watched this yesterday, maybe you enjoy watching that. That's something that a person could have done based on your interests, but now they get the computers to do it much more efficiently. Facial recognition of your phone, same thing. Usually a person would be able to recognize you, but they'd actually taught your phone or device to recognize that, same as fingerprint recognition and so on. And then, of course, the spell check in Word, which is very famous. Once I've finished a document, usually it looks like a failed grade 7 exam paper with all the little red underlines. But that's very handy, and it always helps me. So yeah, but now with ChatGPT coming along, ChatGPT has now become probably the first artificial intelligence that we can really actively use ourselves to our own advantage, but we can also use it to positively impact other people's lives and our clients' lives. Okay, so here are some of the main and immediate advantages for us as real estate agents, namely to use ChatGPT to create various forms of content. So ChatGPT can help us in our businesses to create more content, to create better content, to improve our written communication with our clients, then therefore add value to our clients, and of course save us time and money. But why do I place so much emphasis actually on the fact that ChatGPT can help us to specifically help us with content creation? Because ChatGPT can be used for many things, but I'm harping a lot on content creation for us as agents. So the reason being, because creating good content and putting it out there on various platforms, that's a great way to enhance our personal branding and brand awareness. And that in turn will lead to, to help generate leads for our businesses. And that again will lead to increased sales. So the main thing about this is it's not always about who you know, it's often about actually who knows you. So in this manner, we can make sure that people in our target markets do know about us. Well, that's even before we really get face-to-face meetings with them at all. Okay, and so we often hear that content is king, and the fact is it really is. People are more likely to engage with businesses that they know, like, and trust. And content marketing, if we do it correctly, will build relationships and will build that trust that we are looking for. So basically, by creating good content, we get to showcase our real estate expertise, but at the same time, we can educate our clients and provide solutions to common challenges that they face when buying and selling properties. And by putting out this good content consistently, we can generate warm inbound leads to our businesses without having to spend huge amounts of money. But okay, don't get me wrong. Our face-to-face communication and phone calls and networking and personal interaction, that all remains very, very important for who we are and what we do as agents. And we can never lose that personal touch. But using this technology to help us create more and better content can help us to attract more clients at scale. So when we, then we will have even more clients with who we can establish personal relationships. Also, of course, with this increased online visibility when you're putting out content, our existing and past clients will also keep noticing us online, and they will continually be reminded why we are indeed their go-to real estate agents, and they won't forget about us, and we won't become irrelevant. Okay, so through all my endeavors, I have identified a couple of areas so far where we can use ChatGPT to our advantage. And we'll be looking at all of these today. There are obviously even more, and I'm sure you'll think of lots more after today. And let's be clear, I mean, we're not necessarily all going to use all of these, but it's good to just see all the possibilities that I've thought of so far, and you can decide which ones you can use in your business. So we're going to be looking at using ChatGPT for our agent biographies, listing descriptions. Those are the sort of two most obvious ones that we think we can use it for. But then you carry on to blogs and articles and newsletters and creating YouTube videos and getting topics for those YouTube videos, short form videos, social media posts, email newsletters. Just look, the list goes on, and we're going to be covering all that today. And then also some other more advanced users and some amazing tips and tricks that we'll look at right at the end, where it becomes more advanced. Okay, so what exactly is ChatGPT? You can get all sorts of very fancy definitions about generative this and language models and everything, but I thought let's just ask ChatGPT itself what it is. So I'm not going live onto ChatGPT today because I type too slowly, and there's a couple of challenges to do that in an online presentation. So what I've done for most of the presentation, I've actually, whatever I did on ChatGPT, I took screenshots. But for the first couple of them, I actually created videos of me on ChatGPT, just so those people that maybe don't know ChatGPT at all can just sort of see what it looks like in action. So here you'll see, we're going to explain just now how this whole layout works. But at the bottom there, you'll see I've typed, please explain what ChatGPT is in easily understandable. And now I'm going to play the video and you'll see it in real. So that is me typing. Can you explain what ChatGPT is? In easily understandable layman's terms. And then I hit the little green button on the right, and there goes ChatGPT. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to go to the next screen simply because that has exactly that, but in a static screen, which we can read. So you'll see, okay, please explain what ChatGPT is in easily understandable layman's terms. And here's ChatGPT's answer. Imagine ChatGPT is a super smart computer program that can talk and chat with you just like a helpful friend. It's designed to understand and respond to things you say or type, just like when you're texting with someone. So you can read through there. I mean, the exciting part is that it has been trained on massive amounts of information, and it then uses all that knowledge to give you answers and suggestions on a wide range of topics. So it's like having a really knowledgeable friend who's always available to help you. It's about chatting to ChatGPT. Okay, so let's carry on. Okay, just some important points I want to discuss before we even get into this whole presentation. It might not all make sense right now, but don't worry, it will become clear soon. But I do want to mention these things up front. So very importantly, always verify any content you receive from ChatGPT. Don't just post anything. I mean, your credibility and reputation is at stake. So don't just take whatever you've asked ChatGPT for and just go and post it. Make sure that it seems credible. Choose topics that you have knowledge of. On that note, there are really so many topics we can create content on. We know much more than we actually think, as you're going to see today, and we're going to get ChatGPT to help us in any case to get content that is relevant to us. But the point I'm trying to make is, don't get ChatGPT to write an article on something that you know nothing about, and then just put it out there. Let's say you don't ask ChatGPT to give you the structural requirements for the foundations of a 50-story building in a hurricane-prone area or something like that. I mean, it'll give it to you, and probably it will be correct. But if there are mistakes, I mean, you don't want to put out information you know nothing about. And then always check your facts and info, because you are going to be able to back your content in the long run. But most of the topics we will be creating content about, we actually do really know a lot about. even if we've forgotten that we know a lot about it. So it'll be easy for us to know whether ChatGPT's output is actually valid or not. And then just always add your personal touch. I mean, ChatGPT is a great help, but do add your personal touch so that at least anything you're putting out there is authentic. Okay, and then you'll see there it's all about the prompt. Now, again, if this sounds Greek to you, if you haven't been working on ChatGPT, don't worry about it right now. It's going to become clear very, very soon. As you will see in time, you can improve the responses you receive from ChatGPT by improving the prompts you give it. The prompts are basically just our requests or instructions to ChatGPT. Just clearing my throat there. Yeah. So initially, we just want to keep it simple. Tony Robbins is famous for saying complexity is the enemy of execution. So you can eventually write very complex prompts in ChatGPT that really give you, faster results. But at the start, if we're going to try and do that, complexity is the enemy of execution. So we're just going to throw our hands in the air and say, I can't do this. So we're going to initially keep it simple until you get the hang of it. But practice does make perfect, and in no time you will be prompting like a pro. Again, as you will see, I've actually kept the prompts very simple initially, and later on you will learn to write more focused prompts. But to start, we're keeping it simple. Just on that note, also please bear in mind that we have a very, very mixed audience here today with varied levels of knowledge of ChatGPT. Lydia has actually been in contact with a lot just to sort of poll what the level is of knowledge of ChatGPT, and the vast majority of people here actually have very little or no knowledge of ChatGPT, or have only used it for basic tasks such as listing descriptions. But anyway, even if you have made use of ChatGPT before, I'm quite sure you will find value in today's content, and that some applications you might not have thought of before will become clear for you. Just another thing, also remember that ChatGPT doesn't have a user guide. It's really designed to have a more natural conversation with you. So in today's presentation, I mean, you're going to see a lot of prompts and answers that I've been using for demonstration purposes. But my main aim is firstly to simply demonstrate the areas that I've identified where we can use ChatGPT and get you thinking in the right direction. And then secondly, I want us all to realize that we can communicate with ChatGPT exactly as you would with a person. You should treat ChatGPT as your personal assistant. You get to know each other, you become conversational, and you will get good results. So everything I show you today are just examples. And my main intention is to get you thinking in the right direction so that you can use ChatGPT in even more ways than we could ever possibly explore today. And then just another thing, once we get onto ChatGPT, some advanced guys will know that you get different versions. We are using ChatGPT 3.5, which is the original and basic version, and it's the free version. There are paid versions out there of ChatGPT that offer some advantages, but again, complexity is the enemy of execution. So we will be sticking to the basic version for now. Later on, if you want to go to the advanced versions for which you'll pay a monthly subscription, you're welcome. But you will see that we can get very far with the basic version. Okay, enough of my rambling. I think I want to get on to the real nitty-gritties now. Right. So when you want to start ChatGPT, I mean, you'll see there's you go to the website called chat.openai.com. You can also just go to openai.com. There you will have to sign up if you haven't signed up before with your email address and a password, etc. Otherwise, when you go there, if you do have an account already, you simply log in. I just want to mention right now, you must watch out for ChatGPT ripoffs, especially on the mobile apps. Obviously, if you go to the internet and you go to openai.com, you are in the right place. But especially on phones, I found a lot of people saying, but things aren't working and now they have to pay money and all sorts of things. On the phones, on your app store, there's already a lot of guys that are creating ripoffs. So, of course, what they can do is they can create apps through an API, they're allowed to connect to ChatGPT, so they actually do make use of the technology for which they pay. They actually pay for that API privilege, but then the thing is they're attracting lots of people because this is a hot topic. People join their apps, and very soon they say, oh, but the functionality for that, you have to pay a subscription. So all I'm saying is be careful of ripoffs. And even on your phone, actually, rather go to chat.openai.com on your web browser on your phone, because the mobile version is actually excellent on a phone anyway. You don't need an app. Okay, once you've logged in, this is basically what ChatGPT looks like. Now you're inside, ready to use it. So on the left there, you'll see, okay, the red parts are obviously just my writing. On the left is your ChatGPT history. So the first time you log in, there will be nothing. But as you carry on and you have conversations with ChatGPT, every single chat will appear there in your history, and you could refer back to it later on. And then in the bottom right here, that is now the magic prompt, which you'll hear about all the time when it comes to ChatGPT. So that is the little input box where you input your question or input your instructions for ChatGPT, or just enter into a conversation with ChatGPT. It's called the prompt because you are prompting ChatGPT to give you certain results. Okay, here I've created another little video just so you can see it in real time. Not really real estate related, but just a little bit about us. So you'll see there I've started typing in there, hey there, ChatGPT. We're a bunch of real estate agents based in South Africa, eager to take our real estate businesses to new heights by creating loads of fresh content. Then I say, will you be able, and you watch me continue typing very slowly, will you be able to help us? Enter. And there goes ChatGPT. And again, I'm just going to carry on to the next one, which is the static version of that, which I just screenshotted. So there we are. We asked, will ChatGPT be able to help us at all in our real estate businesses? And a long answer, yes, I'd be more than happy to help you. Just look at the chatty conversational tone. I mean, that just makes you comfortable with ChatGPT immediately. Of course, I'd be more than happy to help you with your real estate content needs. Creating fresh and engaging content is essential for attracting potential clients, etc., etc. Whether you need assistance with blog posts or social media, website copy, or any other type of content, I'm here to lend a hand. Just carry on there. I'll be glad to provide you with ideas and tips, and even draft some sample content to get you started. Feel free to ask any questions you have, and I'll do my best to assist you. So I hope you're already feeling a lot more comfortable with ChatGPT, because I don't know whether it's a he or a she. I tend to somehow refer to ChatGPT as a she. Anyway, but she's very, very friendly, so don't feel intimidated. Right, so the first topic we're going to tackle, and I'm not going to go in depth into this, is to get you thinking, is our agent biographies, where we can use ChatGPT to help us. This is actually a thing many agents neglect a lot. I mean, your agent biography can appear on many places. On your company website, it tells the people about you, on your Facebook profiles, on the About Us section, and so on. We obviously, you know, when you sort of sign up with a company, then you quickly write a bio or something because they make you do it, and you need to do it before you can get started. And then that thing just sits there forever. And actually, your clients are really looking at these things without you knowing it. So we need to make sure we do at least have a good agent biography out there, which is just a description of who we are. Okay, I think this is the last video I've got. The rest will only be screenshots. So I said, can you please write a bio or introduction for an agent based in Cape Town to use on the agent's website? And social media, sorry about that, profiles. And hit enter. Right, so I basically asked, can you please write a bio or an introduction for an agent based in Cape Town to use on the agent's website and social media profiles? I've specifically kept this very vague, just so you can see what the reaction is. I mean, I haven't given it a name. I haven't said anything about the agent as such, apart from that this is an agent based in Cape Town. But nevertheless, ChatGPT will then try her best to write something for you. Now you just look at that. I mean, so it is very generic, but you could even just take that and use it and just sort of modify it a bit. It already at least starts giving you an idea of what you can do. I mean, welcome to the vibrant city of Cape Town. As an esteemed real estate agent, I'm dedicated to helping you. And then with a passion for real estate and a deep understanding of the Cape Town market, I bring unparalleled expertise. I mean, this is all just from a little bit of a description you gave. ChatGPT is creating this fantastic bio, and then carries on. As a local resident, I have intimate knowledge, and then goes about my professional background coupled with my exceptional negotiation skills allows me to deliver optimal results. Beyond just being a real estate agent, I strive to be your trusted advisor. Through my website and social media platforms, you can stay connected with the latest updates, etc. I mean, that's a fantastic bio, which everybody could actually use. You could possibly just plug in a few things, and that's just for an agent in Cape Town. Okay, so now what I did now from that chat, I followed on. So I asked for an agent in Cape Town, and I got that. Then I said, okay, well, thank you very much. Now I'm just asking it to be a bit more specific. So I say, could we make that a little bit more personal for me specifically and incorporate the following? That my name is Andre Vorster. I've been an estate agent in Durbanville in the northern suburbs of Cape Town. I've been here since 2005. I'm married to my lovely wife, Lydia. I keep saying that, by the way. I get a lot of brownie points for this. I'm married to my lovely wife, Lydia, and we have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. So I love living in Durbanville. I have a degree in accounting. I specialize in residential property. I believe in honesty and integrity. I have extensive digital marketing background. And then just for fun, because maybe wherever I've got to go and post this, they have a limit on the amount of words, I also say, and please keep it to under 300 words. And ChatGPT will also adhere to that instruction. So, okay, so it's going to take the previous thing that it created, which was very generic, and it's just going to adapt it a bit for my personal circumstances. So then you'll see within that whole thing that was previously there now brings in the since 2005, married to my wonderful wife, Lydia. But I mean, it also adds more. I just said I'm married with 4 kids, but listen to this. As a family man, married to my wonderful wife, Lydia, and blessed with 4 children, I understand the importance of finding the perfect home that caters to the unique needs of your family. ChatGPT just always goes that extra mile and actually puts that in context and to create something around that. So just the fact that I have a family, it's saying that I can relate to other people with families, etc. And then it says, okay, I just said I have a degree in accounting, but look how it sort of elaborates. Armed with a degree in accounting and specialization in residential property, I offer a blend of financial acumen and real estate expertise. By the end of this, I think you guys are all going to use me as your agent, actually. And I said I have a background in digital marketing, but look how ChatGPT elaborates even that. With a background in digital marketing, I leverage cutting-edge strategies to showcase your property to a wider audience. From eye-catching listings to targeted online campaigns, I maximize exposure, ultimately securing the best outcomes. It's just amazing. So you give it information and it elaborates. You've got to always go and check that that's true. But I mean, I could post this just like this without a problem. Anyway, so I'll give you my number later on. If you guys need to sell your properties, I'm sure you know who to use. Okay, and then the next one. This is just to prove a point again about how conversational ChatGPT is and how you can change things up. So I say take that exact thing now that you've just created the bio, and please write that in a more humorous tone. I'm probably not going to use this online, but let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. You can ask it to change the tone to any tone you think of, a more professional tone, a more serious tone. You could say a Shakespearean tone. That's actually quite interesting. I don't have an example of that. And then it's doths and haths, and it goes, it's quite interesting. But okay, I'm just going to skip to 1 or 2 things because I asked for a more humorous tone. Just look over there at the highlighted part. So speaking of families, I have my own squad of awesomeness. Again, a lovely wife, Lydia. Take note. And then, oh, and did I mention, I've got some serious digital marketing skills. I can make your property shine brighter than a disco ball at a Saturday night fever party. And I'll make your listings go viral faster than you can say abracadabra. Anyway, so there you go. I mean, ChatGPT has a sense of humor, but the point is, you keep chatting to ChatGPT. You don't need fancy prompts. Just ask it what you want and refine it as you carry on until you get what you want from ChatGPT. Okay, so I think you've got enough ideas there. Then listing descriptions, same thing. This is what the most agents that are using ChatGPT, although there's not many of them, have been using it specifically for listing descriptions. Yeah, so if you're like me, I'm actually not very creative. I'm a very factual person. So, my listing descriptions tend to get a bit monotonous. One day I've got a lovely 2-bedroom apartment in the heart of Durbanville, and then the next day I get a new listing, and it's a lovely 3-bedroom townhouse with a double garage in Stroll Heights. And then the next one, the more expensive listing, is an elaborate 5-bedroom, lovely home in the center of Durbanville. And that's sort of how my listings go, and they tend to be very generic. And sometimes I even have an entertainer's delight, but I'm not very creative. Okay, here's my first one. Again, I just want to show I'm going to give very, very little information on the first one and see what ChatGPT comes up with, because she is going to feel obliged to give us a proper property description. So I actually did this for a couple of agents in Plettenberg Bay the other day. That's why this one is here. Write a property description for a 4-bedroom house in Beachy Head Drive in Plettenberg Bay. So all I've given it is a 4-bedroom house, Beachy Head Drive, Plettenberg Bay. Now, ChatGPT does have access to a lot of knowledge, so it's going to use what it can, such as Plettenberg Bay. But the rest, it's basically got to make up in this situation. So you'll see it'll write an elaborate description of the house. I mean, obviously it'll say it's a 4-bedroom house, but then it says it's nestled in a desirable neighborhood of Beachy Head Drive, offering a tranquil and luxurious coastal lifestyle. So it knows where Plettenberg Bay is, in the enchanting town of Plettenberg Bay. Then it carries on to talk about the charming facade as you arrive and the spacious living area. So this is now making up based on what it believes a house would look like in Plettenberg Bay on Beachy Head Drive. But it's obviously not all true. And it'll talk about the bedrooms generously sized, etc. And the outside. It'll create a complete property listing. But quite obviously, because you gave it almost no information, it won't necessarily be true. You could take it just like that and actually go and sort of just go through it. At least it gets you thinking of what to write about, and you could adjust it to your specific property. But obviously, better is to give it more information. Okay, this is a different type of thing. So a little bit more information. So here I say, please write a captivating listing for my property in Beachy Head Drive, and then just a little bit of information. It's got 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3 living areas. I say a lounge, a dining room, and an entertainment room. There's a double garage. The garden is well established and fully walled. There's a large pool. Some special features are a borehole, air conditioning in all living areas. And then please also include some info about Plettenberg Bay that would make the listing attractive to buyers. So I've given it quite a lot more information. Again, not too much of a description. It's only 1 paragraph. And ChatGPT will carry on again. It'll take what I've got and elaborate. Again, the little bit of elaboration, you've got to go and check whether it's true. Sorry. If you look at the second paragraph at the bottom there, as you step through the grand entrance, you'll be greeted by an aura of elegance that envelops the entire home. Hopefully that's true, otherwise you must change it. The rest now is based on facts. The lounge, there is a lounge, I said so, thoughtfully designed to create an oasis of comfort, is ideal for unwinding with a book or simply soaking in the breathtaking vistas of their surrounding landscape. Adjacent, the dining room, an epitome of sophistication. Anyway, you get, it's taking again what I gave it and elaborating. So you can go and look at that, see if it's true, otherwise change it a little bit. But it's an excellent starting point, which simplifies your work a heck of a lot. And at the end there, it's got the special features. I just said there's a borehole. It says there's a borehole that ensures a constant supply of water, keeping your garden lush and green all round. I mean, that's not something you didn't have to think of saying. You just told it there's a borehole. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is all just examples. I don't want to read through all the text of every slide, because then we'll be here all day. And as it is, we're only going to be here for 5 hours. Okay, and then just again, it's just to prove a point. After that one, I said, okay, maybe I've got to post it somewhere where there's a limit. Maybe Facebook has a limit on words or whatever. So I said, can you please shorten that to a 200-word description? It's another way of talking to ChatGPT, changing the output format, and it'll do that. You can go and check. It'll take the whole thing, it'll condense it. It'll still all make perfect sense, but it'll be the length that you wanted it to be. I'm just giving you another example. This is, please rewrite the following listing description in more creative wording. When I go and do evaluation, I pretty much come back with something like this, because it's not meant for marketing purposes. It's eventually just sort of typed in so I know what the property offered, etc. It's very factual. You know, spacious living areas with a built-in braai, open plan kitchen, granite surfaces, just facts, undercounter oven and gas hob, etc. Extras, alarm system. It's just very factual. So I say, hey, just take this and please make a listing of it. And there again, I mean, experience the allure of Sagewood Estates, etc., etc. And it'll use what I've got, like the kitchen at the bottom there, an ode to culinary artistry. I mean, I would never have known to say that. Both an open plan design, that I told it, and granite surfaces that exude both style and functionality. Again, it's taking my short factual description and it's making it all fancy so that I sound like I actually can write a listing. And now you're really going to start using me to sell your homes. Okay. Now, when it comes to more content creation, now we're really talking about the fact that which you spoke about earlier, putting out content onto your website, your blog, your company's website, onto social media, creating videos, etc., etc., etc. Now, the main thing is we can all put out content there, but we never do. Okay, most of us just never do it. We know we should be using social media to get in contact with people and stay in people's faces and create awareness of our brands. But often the biggest problem is, what do I write about? And now this is where we're going to get a lot of help from ChatGPT for a start. So we're first going to get a lot of help from ChatGPT on what can we write about, and then we're going to start using ChatGPT to actually write about it. Right, so we're going to be talking about getting content ideas and topics to use for blogs and articles and newsletters and videos and social media, etc. I'm just going to give you a couple of ideas again. I mean, once you've gone through all this, you're going to see you can create topics. I mean, ChatGPT will give you topics that you can't believe. So first one, I'm a real estate agent in South Africa. Please give me a list of 50 topics for general content that I can create that residents in my area will find to be of value. Okay, so I'm just asking for residents in my area. So this is now not necessarily real estate related, but although some of it will be. And let's see, I asked for 50 topics. You can also ask for 100. Certainly, here's a list of 50 topics for general content that residents in your area may find valuable. So a guide to buying your first home in South Africa, understanding the current real estate market trends in your area, tips for selling your home quickly, renovation ideas to increase the value of your property, exploring different neighborhoods in your city, guide to choosing the right real estate agent. And so it goes on and on and on with all sorts of topics. You don't have to use them all, but you can pick and choose. It's actually just quite amazing. So these are just topics. You would later on decide, okay, I want to use this topic and this topic and this topic. Then you could go to ChatGPT again and say, create a video about this, or create a video script, or create a blog about this, or a social media post. Okay, right. So there are my 50 topics on that one. Another idea. Thank you. Could you please provide a list of 30 topics that I could use to specifically tell people more about the town I live in? I live in Durbanville. So you could use this. I'm asking for 30 topics to tell people about Durbanville. Sure. You could talk about an introduction to Durbanville, such as the history and location and key features. You could talk about exploring Durbanville's charming neighborhoods and their distinct characteristics, the top attractions and must-visit landmarks, a guide to Durbanville's outdoor recreational areas. And so it carries on. Healthcare, excellent educational institutions, and so on and so forth. But what's very interesting now, I mean, I've just said Durbanville. It's not like I told ChatGPT anything about Durbanville. And if you look at some of these topics, Durbanville's role in the South African wine industry. I didn't tell ChatGPT that Durbanville has winelands at all. It goes and gets that information. Someone says, well, you could write about that, about the wine industry in Durbanville, and about all that type. Okay, all sorts of things that are very, very, very specific to Durbanville. Now look at this one. Sorry, I'm hopping on Durbanville. That's where I live. So I say, okay, great. So can you also give me some more topics highlighting things to do close to Durbanville? So I don't just want things to do in Durbanville. What can you do close to Durbanville? I want to write a couple of articles about that. And here we go. Right, here's a list. Exploring the natural beauty of the nearby Cape winelands. Again, I just said Durbanville. I didn't say Durbanville has winelands. And so it carries on. You'll see number 4 talks about the Cape Town City Bowl. So it's now putting it all in context, going to see where Durbanville is, what's in and around, because I asked for things to do close to Durbanville. So it's talking about the Cape Town City Bowl, exploring the pristine beaches along the Cape Town coastline, the scenic beauty and hiking trails of Table Mountain National Park. So as you see, it's quite amazing. You can just use this. So use this for your area and see what ChatGPT comes up with. So we've already got 80 topics now, just from those suggestions that I had to create topics. Okay, here it's the same topics that I've just come up with, things to do close to Durbanville. I'm just going to prove a point here again about how intelligent ChatGPT is and how you can manipulate the output that she gives you. So I said, could you put the above topics in a table with the topics, which is all I've actually got so far from her, with the topics in one column, and then add a description of at least 50 words about each topic in the second column. I mean, this is, okay, let's see if ChatGPT does that, and it does it perfectly. So the left column was number 1, 2, 3 of the above list that we had, which was things to do close to Durbanville, and now it's even elaborated on that. What I want to do with this, I'm not sure. Maybe I would just create Facebook posts in time or whatever. My point was to actually show how you can manipulate what you get from ChatGPT. So I think that's quite amazing. Okay, just another example. I'm a real estate agent. Please give me content ideas to educate property sellers about the selling process in South Africa. And there it goes. Right, so here are a couple of things you could talk about. A step-by-step guide to selling property in South Africa, understanding the property market, tips for staging your home, determining the right listing price, marketing strategies to sell your property faster, negotiating and accepting offers, understanding the legal process, and so it carries on. Common mistakes to avoid when selling your property. The topics just keep coming. You just got to use your imagination and say, give me 30 topics about this or about that or whatever. So here I've asked for, please give me a list of 30 topics of content that I create that will help homeowners to properly maintain their properties and protect their property investments. Great. To do that, you can talk about the importance of regular home maintenance. You can talk about essential maintenance tasks for every season, how to create a home maintenance schedule, and so it carries on. Number 7, energy efficient upgrades for your home. Okay, lots and lots of topics again. You can pick and choose which ones you want to talk about, and there you go. Another one, 30 topics for content. I'm just showing you how general you can get. Anything that's of value to your target audience, go and ask ChatGPT. You don't always want to speak about real estate as such and selling your home and buying your home. Sometimes you want to talk about things in the area, and so you get people to know you also as an area expert and somebody who actually loves the town that you live in, and so on. Okay, but handy cleaning hacks. Give me 30 handy cleaning hacks, and it's obviously this type of thing. If you go and create content about it, about non-toxic cleaning solutions for a healthy home, you might just have to do a little bit of research to make sure that whatever comes back at you is valid. But there you go, kitchen cleaning tips and tricks for a hygienic space, window cleaning hacks, etc. Okay, topics galore. So that's not a problem. To get topics now, we know what we can write about. That's not a problem at all. Now we're going to use ChatGPT to create the actual content. So we're going to start with blogs and articles and newsletters. So blogs, if you've got your own website, you can post blogs and articles on your own website. Otherwise, if you use a CRM, like many of us use Propcon, it's our sort of CRM of choice. Propcon has a wonderful digital business card that you get, which is like a one-page website almost, and you can create articles galore on Propcon, and they'll all appear on your digital business card. So that also, and then newsletters, of course, if you've got a database, email database, you send them newsletters, but you're looking for content. So you've got the topics now. Now we're going to create the content. Okay, there's an example. Can you write a 200-word article on number 10 above? Number 10 above was about the common mistakes when selling. Right, so there ChatGPT comes up, it gives you a whole title. Avoid these common mistakes when selling your property in South Africa. So now you see one of the topics that we're creating content on, and just, I mean, you can just look at this. It's all so valid. I've actually, when it comes to general fact-based content that you're asking for, very seldom have I ever found anything that's not valid. And because we're talking property, and because you're talking your area, usually, you also don't feel that it's not your content, because if you look at that, it all makes sense. You know these things. You just don't always know that you know these things. So then it talks about, right, the most common mistakes that you must steer clear of are overpricing, neglecting property repairs, inadequate marketing, poor presentation, and so it carries on. Okay, I didn't put the whole thing there because as I now the content that we're actually creating is not as important as the ideas we're getting from this. So the next example was, please write a blog article about reasons why people would want to move to Durbanville. And that's a great thing to put out there. And it just says, okay, so Durbanville is located just outside Cape Town, offers exceptional quality of life. I'm just looking at the highlighted areas. Idyllic lifestyle. Again, you'll see, I mean, I just said Durbanville, but it'll mention the rolling hills and the vineyards and the hiking and cycling trails. All this is very, very true. In the reputable schools, excellent healthcare facilities. It's close enough to Cape Town to drive in and out for work. And then look at that. I mean, I just said Durbanville, but still it's going to talk about the proximity to the winelands and the beaches. Proximity to both Cape Town, winelands, beaches, as well as Stellenbosch, Franschhoek, and Paarl. It's just all very you're starting to get the point, I'm sure, that ChatGPT has a wealth of information, and you just give it a little bit of a prompt, and it'll come back with all these things. Okay, another one, 500-word blog explaining 10 reasons why homeowners should use an estate agent. Yeah, that's why I made this a 500-word blog. A longer one, because we really want people to know what are the reasons why they should use an estate agent. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Okay, so it just starts out with an introduction. You know, selling a house is a significant financial transaction and a complex process, so it carries on, and then it starts telling you why you should use an estate agent. Because of our expertise and market knowledge, it elaborates on that. Because of our wide network and access to buyers, and it elaborates on that. Negotiation skills, time and convenience, so the time you can save and convenience to the seller, the legal support and administrative support, objective advice, market exposure and the competitive edge. I mean, it's just great. These are things we know. When you go through this, you say, oh yes, but you would never have been able to just go and sit down and write that yourself, because you just can't always think of the right things to say. Okay, so ChatGPT to the rescue. Now, I think the only point here is, instead of asking for a blog article, I'm now asking for a 300-word email to send to my client database on email to prepare telling them how to prepare their home to achieve the best possible price. So the content will be interesting to look at, but bear in mind I've asked for an email. So it's going to, there it gives you a sort of in an email format, dear client's name with a subject, and then it starts telling you how to prepare your property for the best possible price. So it tells you to look at curb appeal, first impressions matter, and elaborates on that. Declutter and depersonalize. Again, these are the type of topics we know, but to actually think of them all, you know, deep cleaning, staging, professional photography, etc. By following these recommendations, you'll be well on your way to achieving the best possible price. Now, I'm asking you to rewrite that. Again, this is just for illustrative purposes, really, more than anything else. So I say, okay, I like that email. Just to see what it looks like. Can you keep the tone of the email casual but still professional? I don't know why I even said that, but let's see how it changes. Now, I'm just going to go back and look. Number one was curb appeal. The first impressions matter. Now, when it makes it more casual in ChatGPT's voice, it says, wow, them from the street. First impressions count, right? So it's becoming a little bit more conversational as such. The second one was declutter and depersonalize. Very sort of formal and factual. And you go to the new casual email. It says, bye-bye clutter, hello buyers. So you get the point. I mean, you can change the output by just changing how you ask ChatGPT to put the output out there. Okay, just one more example. I'm going through a lot of examples, but we'll start looking less at the content and more at the examples. Write a 250-word article on how to minimize stress on children and pets when moving from one house to another. That again, I mean, this is of utmost importance to people. They will really thank you for this type of information when they're going to move, because it's things they don't think about. They don't think about what the impact is on the kids. Anyway, so here's an article. Can you write an article about that? Yes, it can be an exciting but stressful experience, but also on the children and pets. They can be anxious and overwhelmed. Communication is key. So it's giving a whole thing which parents can use so that they can make it less stressful for the kids and the pets. When it comes to pets, create a safe space for them during the move, and so on and so on. Once you've moved into your new home, take time to help your children and pets acclimatize, unpack their belongings first, and so on and so on. Wonderful information Now you can put that out. You can also send it in an email to your client if you wanted before they move or whatever. Excellent content to give people. Now here's another one that I want to show you. So this is now written for the parents, right? So it's basically for the homeowners. And just again to show you what you can ask ChatGPT to do. I say, can you rewrite that 250-word article so that an 8-year-old child will understand it? And the parents can actually give this to the child to prepare them for the move. And then just look at how it changes. It's taking exactly the same content as it was sent to the parent. And now it's saying, now you can actually give this to an 8-year-old who can read, but in their language. Hey there, little buddy, moving to a new house can feel exciting, but sometimes it might make you and your pets feel a little worried. Don't worry though, we've got some cool tips. And so it carries on. Talk to mom and dad about the new house and why you're moving there. And so it carries on. But if you go through that, it's excellent. Then a little bit of sort of attention, take the attention and put it onto the pets, which helps. So then you speaking to the child, it says, now let's think about our furry friends like Fluffy and Fido. Moving might make them a little scared too, so we need to be extra kind to them. And then at the end, don't forget to spend time with Fluffy and Fido. Take them for walks around the new neighborhood. Anyway, I just think it's brilliant the way it takes one piece of content and creates it in a different tone. And this is great. I often think that if you want to send emails to your clients, then maybe you should sort of write the email and then say, can you please write that so that a 10-year-old would understand it? I think that might have the desired effect many times. Okay, now let's look at, creating content for YouTube videos. So we're looking for topics, outlines, and scripts. We've already got a lot of topics. I've still, because this presentation has come a while, there's a couple of more content ideas in here. But now you're going to see you can use ChatGPT to give you topics, to create the outline of a video, and then create the script as well. And just look at the next thing there. If content is king, then video is the king of all content. This is really true. You want to put content out there that's going to create value to your customers. That's great. And I mean, I know we're all scared of video, but when you get round to that, if you make a couple of videos, it's going to become more natural. And that is where people really get to know, like, and trust you. So instead of just an article going out there telling them about how to reduce stress on their kids when moving, if you could do that on a video, because now a video after video after video, they start seeing you. They start knowing you. I have experience of this myself. I don't make a lot of videos, but I make more educational videos for my clients. But nevertheless, by the time sometimes people ask you for evaluation and you walk into that room, you really get the sense they know you. They don't, and you know they don't know you, but they actually feel they know you because they've been looking at your content, and that is why they decided to call you, because they're also seeing your personality. And certain people will click with certain personalities. Okay, so that's just a little bit of why you should do videos. We all actually know that, and we're very scared of doing them. But this will make it a lot easier again, because just to at least know what to say. Okay, so now I say, can you create a 2-minute video script with me talking about the above blog article, which was the pets and the stress on children? And I also ask, this is my very basic language, and can you include some ideas about where I should be speaking into the camera and where I should show alternative images, and also give me ideas for the images? That's not actually, in technical terms, a B-roll. So you'll see someone talking, and then while they're talking, you see something else appear on the screen. That's a B-roll. But I'm asking it for ideas for the wording, what I should be saying, and also ideas of other things I could be saying. And just on that point, before we get to that, if you're scared of making videos, this is a tip. I haven't done this much myself yet, but this is a good tip. You, for instance, got a 2-minute script now that ChatGPT made for you, but it's very daunting speaking to that camera for 2 minutes, especially at the start. But what you've got to realize is that if you just get some basic editing software, and firstly, you'll have to do a little bit of editing, but there's very easy to use editing software. So then you could be talking into the camera, but you can just say, okay, so those first 2 sentences I'm going to say into the camera. So that's the daunting part. Okay, and so you just practice the first 2 sentences, and then you know that after that you're going to keep on speaking, but you're going to be showing something else on the screen. So you're going to have editing software. You're just going to layer it. You put the other one on top of your visual. So now you're keeping speaking, but you don't have to. You're not daunted by looking at the camera. So for that part of it, you can actually read it off a paper, do what you want, because you know something else is showing, people are hearing you speaking. Anyway, that's just a little tip. So it could make making videos a lot less daunting. Okay, so I've asked for a 2-minute video script about that, and here you'll see it comes up with, firstly, it gives me an opening shot. So everything in square brackets is not what you're saying. That's ChatGPT's suggestion of what you could show if you wanted to show alternative footing while you're speaking. So the opening shot, it says a close-up of a smiling person, in brackets probably you, sitting in a comfortable living room. And then it gives you the script. Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about this and this and this. I made a little side note on the side there, because if you listen to the experts telling you how to make videos, ChatGPT doesn't quite do it that way, but your first 15 seconds must be a bit more punchy and a bit more of a hook. That's where you get people to know this is a video I want to watch, or it's not a video I want to watch, and so you captivate them. So you might just change that, just make it a very catchy hook, and then you carry on. But anyway, so it gives you all the script based on that blog article that we had. First and foremost, communication is key, and then it gives you these transition ideas in brackets where you could show alternative. So when you're saying this, you can now zoom out to a wider shot showing a family packing boxes. And when you do that, you could show a thing of family sitting together, engaged in conversation, and so on and so on. So it really gives you the whole script and the whole idea. Now you just got to go and execute it. And I know that's not easy either, but it's much easier now. Okay. This will just give me a list of 20 videos that I should make as a real estate agent to attract sellers. It gives you a whole lot of ideas. You could talk about your neighborhood. You do neighborhood tours of the different suburbs. You can make videos about home staging tips, about market updates, about testimonials, video tours, pricing strategies. So here's a whole lot of topics, but even all the topics we mentioned previously, the 50 and the 30 and any topics you ask ChatGPT to give you ideas about, you can make videos about. So I said, please create a 3-minute video script. Again, just look at if you ask for a 3-minute video script, that's pretty much what it's going to do. You might speak faster or slower, but in general, that will be a 3-minute video script. You ask for 5 minutes, you'll get 5 minutes. ChatGPT is very specific and very intelligent in this regard. So I say, create a 3-minute video script for a YouTube video where I explain number 11 above. Sorry, that was number 11 was ChatGPT saying I could make a video about the comparative market analysis, CMA, and explain the importance of a CMA and how you conduct one. Again, interesting here is, so now I'm saying create a video about me speaking about the CMA and explaining the importance of it. But now I haven't told ChatGPT what a CMA is or what it should look like, but I'm asking it to create a whole video script of me explaining that. So just again, very interesting how much information ChatGPT has. And if you look at it now, we all know what a CMA is and how it works. Look how accurate this actually is. So again, it gives you the opening scene, is you standing in front of a beautiful property. So you can use those for images if you don't want to appear on the camera yourself the whole time. But just look at this. So it says the highlighted parts. It's crucial when it comes to selling your home is the comparative market analysis, or CMA. A little bit lower down. First things first. What is a comparative market analysis? It's a comprehensive evaluation of your home's value based on recent sales of similar properties in the local market. It helps you determine a competitive price and a realistic listing price. A little bit later, when conducting a CMA, I will gather detailed information about your property, blah, 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 and then I will compare it to recently sold properties in the area. So you look at this and you say, but this is great, but you wouldn't necessarily have worded it this way yourself, but it is something you can speak about. You are knowledgeable on this topic. And then there ChatGPT goes and gives you everything. There it says, this information is vital in determining the most appropriate listing price for your home. A little bit lower down, why is a CMA so important? Because it helps you avoid pricing your home too high or too low. And then later on, so how does a CMA process work? Well, as your trusted real estate agent, I will handle this entire process for you. And so it carries on. Quite amazing. I'm sure you all agree. And then, as I said, just for interest's sake, so I've got a 3-minute video script, and I start looking at it, and it becomes a little bit daunting for me. And I think, nah, this is one of my first videos, I'm going to make it shorter. So I said, could you convert that to a 45-second video script? And when you go and look at it and read through it, it's now condensed. It'll be 45 seconds. But when you go and read through it, you'll find how intelligently ChatGPT has actually summarized this because it doesn't lose the gist and the important points. It really knows how to still keep the importance of all the points there, although it's making it shorter. And then again, just for illustrative purposes, please rewrite that same video in a more playful and fun tone, and don't include the transition and visuals. Just for illustrative purposes, I'm saying, okay, don't include those transitions. They're just getting in the way for me because I'm not going to be using them. And then write it in a more playful and fun tone. So when you go there, you'll see there is an opening scene, but all the other transitions in square brackets have disappeared because I asked that. And then now I said, make it a bit more fun. Okay, I don't know how much fun you could make a CMA, but there you'll see the type of wording. We gather all the juicy deets about your property and shake it up with the sold properties nearby, and we mix in some fancy market analysis, sprinkle in some data. Anyway, you wouldn't use this. It's just for illustrative purposes. Okay, now I want to show you a very, very handy trick. So if you're busy on YouTube and you see people watching people making certain videos about certain topics, and you think, sorry about the photo, this is a video I made. Anyway, and you think, gee, I would really love to make a video like that. And this guy's maybe made a 20-minute video on a certain topic. Now you can actually go and get that whole script of that video, the wording. You can get it off YouTube. And then you can take that and give it to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to please rewrite it for you. Make it shorter, make it longer, even add something or whatever. But it's quite as simple as taking that, rewriting it, then it's almost your own, because of course you're going to only be using a topic that you do have knowledge of, but you didn't think of all these things. So here's an example. Now this is a video I made quite a while back, actually, but it was about the 72-hour clause or the continued marketing clause explained. It's a 6-minute video. So now I'm going to show you how, if you like this video, you could remake it, but any video. So you go on YouTube. This is just a screenshot of exactly what YouTube looks like on your PC. You go on YouTube, there where the red arrow is that I've drawn in there are 3 dots. You click on that. That's like a little menu. Then it opens up a menu, and then you would click on show transcript. So that's then going to show the wording of this video. So click on show transcript, and then there it comes up again. Now you'll see in the right-hand side here, you've got all the wording, the famous 72-hour clause. That's exactly what I am saying in the video. And it's also got timestamps. So I said that at 10 seconds, I said that at 20 seconds. But now, if you click on the little 3 dots on the top there, you can remove the timestamps because you don't want the timestamps, you only want the text. So click on the 3 dots, click on toggle timestamps, and then there you go. Now you've got only the text. Obviously, this text goes way down because it's a 6-minute video. So what you now do is you just go and you select all that text. As you'll see, I've said on the left there, select all and copy it. So you copy it, and then I go, and over here you'll see, now I'm in ChatGPT again, and I say, please rewrite this video transcript into a 1-minute video script. So it was a 6-minute video of somebody else, and I'm just going to, and all this is now just what I pasted, which I got from YouTube. And I'm asking you to please rewrite it into a 1-minute video script. And there it comes. So the original 6-minute video script is rewritten into a 1-minute script. Beautiful. And when I go through this, that was a video. I made the 6-minute video script. Now it's a 1-minute script. And when I go through again, it's amazing how it's condensed it, but it hasn't lost the gist or the important parts of it. It's really quite amazing. Actually, a cool story I'm going to tell you. When I actually did one of our live presentations, and Steve and I had already started talking about doing a webinar about this. So I sent him a very amateurish recording of the live presentation that I did. And he was looking at this, Steve, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think like at 9 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah.
And the next morning I get this voicemail, and I've already the next morning noticed there's a new video out that Steve made. And I get this voicemail from Steve. Wow, I've been looking at that, and this is just so cool. I love this trick. I'm going to actually hand over to Steve because I think he can tell you about that. Steve,
Andre,
tell the story.
I'll tell you, when I saw what you've just shown everyone here on YouTube, where you can click those little 3 buttons and you can get the transcript of anybody else's video, I never would have thought of doing that, and it was so brilliant. So it was about 9:30 at night. I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you what I did. I went on to, I think it was Mike Sherrod's YouTube channel. And I found because he does really good content for agents. So I found a video of his where he was talking about Instagram and how to like do better on Instagram. I think it was a 15-minute video. So it's quite a long transcript. So I thought, well, let me try what Andre just taught me. I clicked the 3 little buttons. Yeah, okay, transcript. Get rid of the timestamps. Cut and like I copied it, highlighted it, I copied it. And now you can see I've gone back on my ChatGPT history here. This is the one that I did. So all I said is, please write the following video script for a 60-second Instagram reel. And then I pasted in the whole of Mike Sherrod's video. Check, I mean, it's a long transcript. 15, okay. And this is what ChatGPT gave me. It spat out a video script. I still thought it was too long. So then I said to ChatGPT, I need to be able to say that in 60 seconds or less. And it punched out the video script. Look how short that video script is now, just from there to there. And then I said, because now I wanted the entry, the text that you put with the video, the caption, as you call it. So I said, my purpose for this video is to attract agents to my EXP team. Sorry, I'm not giving EXP a pitch there. Give me the Instagram caption to go with this video with hashtags. And it gave me the caption, it gave me the hashtags. And now all I did is I took this video script, the one that it gave me, I printed it out, I put it in front of my camera in my office. I actually use a teleprompter. I've got a teleprompter, but you can just do this with a piece of paper. And I put it in front of my camera and I shot the video. And I got it into 60 seconds. And I want to play that video to you now.
Most estate agents are overlooking the power of Instagram to build their business. So here are 7 simple tips to help you grow your Instagram following, attract more clients, and build your personal brand. Number 1, optimize your bio by explaining who you are and why people should use you, and use ChatGPT to help you. Number 2, leverage Instagram stories by posting them every single day to stay top of mind. Number 3, jump on the Instagram Reels trend. It offers massive organic engagement, so create vertical video and use local hashtags to attract followers. Number 4, make sure there's a good mix of content, including listing videos, market updates, and general area info videos like interviewing local business owners. Number 5, do collaborator posts with influencers and local businesses in your area to tap into their audiences and grow your own. Number 6, consistency is key. You've got to post multiple times per week to give people a reason to follow you. Number 7, let your personality shine through. Follow those 7 tips and you'll see your Instagram following soar. Drop a comment below if you've got any questions or you want to share your thoughts.
And I mean, that, look, I look at that now, I think that is a damn good video. And while I do have some video editing skills that I've developed through the years, so I could put the B-roll, as you were calling it, I could edit that B-roll in using my video editing software. I know how to do that. You wouldn't have to do that. But the script that I used there was 100% written by ChatGPT, lifting it off Mike Sherrod's YouTube channel using the technique that you showed. And you can see through the windows, it's like 10 o'clock at night. That whole thing took me maybe an hour. So I love that, Andre. What a brilliant technique. Thank you for teaching me that.
My pleasure, Steve. And let that be an example to all of us. Steve is the master of execution. We will all get there. When you get an idea, use ChatGPT, get it going, and just do it. They say if you can make your first 10 videos, it just becomes natural. And even if you actually just want to get good at making videos, then you know what you should do, and you really don't want to post them, or you look at them afterwards, you should be posting them. But if you don't want to, just make 10 videos then, knowing you're not going to post them. Make one a day for 10 days, a 1-minute video, a 30-second video. And then eventually after 10 or 15 days, it becomes second nature. You haven't posted any of them, so you don't have to feel worried about it, but then you can start posting videos. And video, it just is the way to go. Okay, I'm going to carry on. So everybody can see the presentation, I presume. All right, so that's where we were now with that script rewritten. Okay, short form videos. That's a lot the same as the other videos. I'm just going to go through just so we always keep track that, I mean, because short form videos are different to what YouTube videos would be, where you get 2 and 3 and 4 and 7-minute videos and 30-minute videos. Short form videos is more looking at TikTok and your reels and things where there are limits on how long a video should be. You really have to capture the attention, etc. So the output from ChatGPT will be a bit different. Okay, here I've just asked again for 10 topics that an estate agent can use to make a 1-minute video of each topic about showcasing a specific neighborhood. So it says, sure, here's videos you could make. You can make a video about the neighborhood history, or about the local amenities, or the schools and education of that area, or the community events, dining, outdoor activities, etc. Lots of ideas. We've had lots of ideas before. Topics are not a problem. Okay, then I said, okay, can you write me a 60-second video script for number 1 above? Now, number 1 above was speaking about the neighborhood history of an area. So highlight the historical background, etc., etc., etc. Now I'm asking ChatGPT, can you make me a video about that neighborhood history and do it for Cape Town? Okay, so let's see what it comes up with. And there you go. Again, you've got the whole video script with suggestions for other images or B-rolls and so on. But then just look at how at the relevant information it's coming up with for Cape Town. As we take you on a journey through Cape Town, and it's captivating past, and it'll talk about Dutch colonization and the struggles of apartheid. It talks about the Castle of Good Hope, the Dutch East India Company in the 17th century, the District 6 Museum, which tells the poignant story of a neighborhood that was forcibly cleared during apartheid. And so it carries on. I haven't put the whole thing there because, as I said, we're now more into the idea part of things. But just again, you go and look at this. You can go and double check the facts. It is true, but you must double check the facts. Okay, then I said, can you write a 30-second video script about the benefits for sellers in giving a sole mandate? You can see a touchy subject for us agents. We keep harping on these. So write a 30-second video about the benefits for a seller to give me a sole mandate, basically. So there you go. Okay, here's a video, and it's going to be about the benefits. And it's just highlighting some things. So first, by giving an agent a sole mandate, you will ensure their undivided attention and dedication. Your property will get increased visibility. With a sole mandate, you can significantly reduce the time your property spends on the market. And so it carries on. So again, lovely, proper information, but that's not the point here. The point here is the script, and it's going to be 30 seconds long. If you speak it and it's a bit longer or shorter because of the speed you speak, you can just ask it to shorten it a bit, and so on and so forth. Okay, now we're going to go through to social media, how to create posts and captions and hashtags. I mean, again, we're using all the same topics you can use, whether you're doing videos or blogs or articles and longer articles, long videos, short videos, social media. But what you will also notice is that ChatGPT just has so much knowledge, so that when you ask it for a Facebook post about that topic, it might differ from another social media platform, because ChatGPT just has the knowledge of who the audience is in general on that type of platform, what the restrictions are possibly that the platform places on content or length of content, and so forth. Okay, again, this is just what types of real estate info could I share on my social media platforms. We've got lots of topics already, but anyway, here's a couple more. So to engage your audience and establish yourself as a knowledgeable professional, here are some ideas. Talk about your listings, very obvious and easy. Don't forget that. Talk about market updates, about home buying tips, home selling tips, home improvement ideas, local community information, what's going to be happening in the area, and so forth. Lots of them. Then I said, okay, so now, as per number 5 above, what home improvement tips could I use for posts? You could talk about curb appeal enhancement. You could talk about kitchen upgrades, bathroom updates, energy efficiency improvements, a good topic in South Africa, flooring transformations, paint and color choices, offering guidance on choosing the right paint colors, etc. Okay, now I'm carrying on. Here's the point. The main idea here is to show you that I'm asking for a caption for an Instagram post. So I'm telling ChatGPT, okay, I've already made a video about Durbanville. I'm going to be posting this video. So I want to post it on social media. Now, please write me a caption specifically for Instagram and include relevant hashtags and emojis. So I'm going to be posting the video, but what's the caption? What's the text that comes with that? And there it goes. Again, I didn't say too much. I just said I made a video about Durbanville. So I've got to check whether this is actually what it's about. But nevertheless, exploring the hidden gems of Durbanville, discovering the charm and beauty of #Durbanville, South Africa, from lush vineyards to breathtaking landscapes. I didn't give it that information, but as we've already realized, ChatGPT knows it all. So this enchanting town has it all. Join me on a visual journey through Durbanville's culture, etc. And then it gives you a whole lot of hashtags. And that's obviously, we all know for Instagram, hashtags are very important. That makes your posts more discoverable. So ChatGPT is giving you very good ideas of what hashtags to use that people are probably searching for and that they would then discover your content. So hashtag explore Durbanville, hashtag travel diaries, hashtag discover South Africa, and so on. Okay. So you see, it's now created what it thinks is an apt and a proper caption that you would use specifically on Instagram. Then I say, okay, exactly the same thing. I have made a video about Durbanville. I want to post it on social media. Please write an accompanying post specifically for Facebook. And then it comes up with a different type of post. It's obviously longer. I think the tone of it is a bit different, etc. You can go through there. But in ChatGPT's opinion, this is more apt for Facebook, and I would agree as well. And just for interest sake, because Lydia kept asking me every time I did this, presentation live, the few times that we've done it, Lydia says, but why does it differ? Why should it differ? And so I said, okay, I'm tired of trying to explain why I think it should differ. Let's ask ChatGPT. So I said, can you explain briefly why your suggested wording for the Instagram caption and the Facebook caption are different? Okay, so ChatGPT will now tell us why. Lydia? Certainly the wording of the Facebook and Instagram might be different for a few reasons. And then it lists the reasons. Character limit. So as I said, the platforms might have, I think, actually Instagram, I'm not sure. I think it allows 2,000 characters, or I don't know, but it's things like that ChatGPT takes into account. So character limit, the different audiences and their demographics, platform features, user behavior on the different platforms, aesthetic and tone. Each platform has its own aesthetic tone and culture. So to fit in with that platform's vibe, it's common for creators to adapt their wording and style accordingly. Okay, so there we have it. Now you know your captions should actually differ, but for different platforms, but ChatGPT can help you with it.
Was your lovely wife satisfied with that answer, Andre?
Steve, yes, because ChatGPT gave it. So that was the main thing. I've given that answer before, I think, sort of, but that doesn't count as much. ChatGPT carries a lot of weight now in our house. Okay, here's a wonderful idea, and again, it's just an idea, but just look at what ChatGPT can do. So I've said, okay, I know it looks like a lot, but if you look what it's going to spit out, this is a very short description. I'm saying to ChatGPT, I'm a real estate agent in Cape Town. I want a 60-day calendar for posts on social media, with a post for every single day and the complete post content as well for each day. So I want the idea for the post and I want the content. I would like to alternate between topics about things to do in and around Cape Town, and then also real estate related topics that would be of value to homeowners and sellers in Cape Town. I want you to help me with content for each day, and I've asked for 60 days. Please provide the calendar in a table format with 2 columns, with a text and a post content in one column, and then in the other column, I want a suggested image that I can use with that post. There you go. And it's now made a bit of a mix. As I said, I want to mix about things to do and about this and that and general topics. And then I want some real estate stuff in between. And you'll see, I mean, day one, and then it gives you an idea of a picture. Just remember with pictures, don't go and take a picture just on this topic. Don't go and just take a picture of Google. There are lots of sites that offer you quite a few free, royalty-free images. They just also have paid options if you want more, but there's always more than enough, like Pixabay and I think it's Pixel, and so you can get a lot of images. You just search for the topic, and rather use images that you are actually allowed to use. But anyway, day one, looking for adventure, explore Table Mountain. I'm not going to go into the whole post. So that's a sort of a general, because I've asked for Cape Town specifically. Day two, take a trip to Camps Bay and soak up the sun on the sandy shores. Day three, discover local art at the Zeitz Mokka Museum. We were actually there the other day. It's quite fantastic. Day four, visit Stellenbosch, the wine capital of South Africa, and indulge in a wine tasting tour. Day five, hit the waves at Muizenberg Beach, a surfers paradise. This is just content, so you can just post this every day. This is not big, meaningful content. It's not all your blog articles and videos, but it's to keep being visible. Day six, take a stroll in Kirstenbourg National Gardens. Day seven, foodie delight. Explore the markets of Cape Town, like the old biscuit mall. And then here comes a bit of real estate stuff. Day 8, considering selling your home, enhance the curb appeal with fresh flowers and a well-maintained garden. Of course, if you wanted to create longer posts, just take that post, just say, ChatGPT, write me a 200-word post on this, and it'll do that. I mean, but just this is amazing. I'm sure you guys are all going to agree. It's quite amazing to just give you, now you've actually got a calendar. And you know, there's so many apps where you could even go and take these posts, create them, go on a Saturday morning, create 20 posts quickly, and you could go to something like Hootsuite, or you get all sorts of programs where you can then schedule your posts up ahead, and you just do that all on one day, and then it's going to go out day by day onto your social media platforms. Okay, next we're going to look at email newsletters. So very specifically, obviously, if you've got a database, keep in touch with email newsletters. This is very, very apt. We've had lots of success. We've got a database built up through the years of about 7,000 email addresses in and around Durbanville, and that I can't tell you. And I don't, you know, time is always of the essence. You've got to find time for everything. I send out a monthly newsletter. In the last month, we got 2 or 3, Lydia will help me, valuations from that newsletter, and I always go back and trace where they came from. And then there was a guy who inquired, for instance, on Property 24 in 2010, inquired on a property, never bought the property through us, so he obviously bought a property through someone else. But I've been sending him a newsletter, so now he wants to sell, and he contacts me. Of 13 years, we've had quite a few examples very recently of that. Anyway, so email newsletters are very relevant still today. Okay, I'm using this as a sort of a double whammy to illustrate more than one point. So firstly, it's going to be, how does an email newsletter look according to ChatGPT? But I'm also going to show you the green part now. Okay, so I'm saying, please write an email newsletter containing a real estate market update for Johannesburg, where the interest rates are high and it's a buyer's market. So just that first sentence, I'm giving it info. I'm not saying what the market's looking like in Joburg. I want to see what it comes up with, but I'm giving it a bit of context, saying the interest rates are high and it's a buyer's market. And I would like to see what ChatGPT says about that market and whether it's actually true. I'm not in Joburg, so if this is not true, don't use it. And then I'm saying, now the reason the green part is there, a very important thing to remember with the free version of ChatGPT, which we are using, 3.5. It's only been trained on data up to September 2021. So it doesn't have access to recent statistics and facts. Luckily, as you'll see, I mean, all the info we've been using is general info. So it's been around for a long time. It's still all very apt. It's, you know, how to sell your house and how to do this and how to do that, and information about the area. But when you if you want to incorporate statistics into your email newsletters or into anything, you will just need to have to provide it to ChatGPT and say, these are the statistics. There are options out there where you can get ChatGPT. There are extensions. It's called Web ChatGPT. It's a Google Chrome extension that will give you access to the recent stuff. And ChatGPT 4 probably now has access to that, which is the paid version. But we're not going there right now because complexity is the enemy of execution. So I'm going to provide, I said, right, so the prime interest rate in South Africa has increased by so much, from 7.5% in January 22 to so much in May 22. A little bit of, and there we go. One paragraph, and I'm asking you to write a newsletter. And there you go. So you'll see the green part is what I gave it, which is the statistics. And it's just saying, but it puts it all very nicely. I just said that is what happened with the interest rate. And then it says, particularly in light of the recent significant interest rate increases in a period of just 16 months, the interest rate has risen by so much and so much. These changes have had a notable impact on the local real estate market, creating a unique environment for buyers. I've got to check that that's true, but I mean, that is true if interest rates go up. And that's not okay. But again, now we carry on with, there's a lot there, but just because of the first part, I said create a market update for Johannesburg, where interest rates are high and it's a buyer's market. And you just see with what type of thing it comes up with. So it says, with interest rates at such levels, the Joburg real estate market has shifted towards a buyer's market. This means that buyers have greater bargaining power, more options, and the potential to negotiate favorable terms. Sellers are becoming more flexible. Anyway, you're getting the point. So the first idea was, this is what an email newsletter looks like if you ask ChatGPT, but I'm just double whamming it with putting in statistics, etc. And you just look at the output here, and it's amazing. I wouldn't have written this myself, even though I had all the statistics. And so the options are endless. You want to talk about your local market, don't get some stats of CMA Info or of Lightstone. So say, I want to write a market update on Durbanville, and this is what's happened in the last so many months. This is what happened. So many properties have sold. Maybe this was the average price range. Whatever. Give it some stats, and it looks even more credible, and it's all correct. I mean, it even puts in their long-term prospects. While the current market conditions favor buyers, it's essential to consider the long-term prospects of the market, economic, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. You can read through that later on. You will be getting the slides. Okay. Just another example, that same script that we took off YouTube, not Steve's Mike Sherrod one, the one about the 72-hour clause. Yeah, I'm saying, please write a 60-word email that I could send to clients to tell them about my latest video that is this video script. So now I've made the video, I've loaded it on YouTube. I haven't got the script because I didn't write it, I spoke it. But anyway, so I've made the video, I've loaded it on YouTube. Now I want to send it to my email databases. I mean, it's good content to send out. So I say, please write a 60-word email that I could send to clients to tell them about this video. So I paste the whole 6-minute script in there. I'm too lazy to think out on what to say on the email, and there it goes. And it tells them. And again, from a 6-minute video script, it's created a 1-page email. And when I go and look at what it's written about the 72-hour clause, allows sellers to continue marketing their property even when an offer with suspensive conditions is in place, and so on and so forth. It's very true. It really intelligently condenses all that information. But anyway, now it's created an email newsletter for me to send, and then to tell them, this is the video, have a look at it. Just have a look at that. So you can, frog in my throat. You can use ChatGPT to rewrite existing content. So any old articles you had maybe from years ago, take them, put them into ChatGPT, get some fresh content, rewrite existing articles. Ask ChatGPT to rewrite in more or less words, which we've seen already. Rewrite it in a different format. So when you get your output from ChatGPT, maybe you want it in a numbered list or bullets or in a table, as I've shown. I'm just giving you ideas. The more you chat to ChatGPT, you'll realize you can really manipulate the way the information is coming back at you. You can even rewrite in a different language. Not all languages are supported, but I've often taken stuff and I've translated it into Afrikaans on ChatGPT. It's quite good. It does, obviously, sometimes it's a bit formal. You have to change it a little bit. But it's very handy when you've got a long thing like this and you want to translate it into Afrikaans, even if you maybe got to make 1 or 2 changes later on. Rewrite it for a different target audience. Take note of these things. So you got a piece. It's just like I said earlier, take this that you wrote for adults and please write it for an 8-year-old. So you could say, write it in language that a 5-year-old child will understand. Write it specifically aimed at 20-year-old first-time buyers. Just see what comes up. Write it for people aimed at highly educated professionals, and you'll see how it changes. And then so you'll also start learning how to communicate with ChatGPT, because these are just examples that I've used. You could think of 10 times the amount of examples, and the output will be different. And then you've seen me speak once or twice where I say write it in a more playful tone or a more casual tone or a more humorous tone. Here's a couple of tones I've used, and they all have different ideas. But again, this is not a user manual. These are ones I've come across and I've used, and they all work. Write it in a light-hearted tone, a funny tone, a serious tone, a playful tone, an informative tone. Eventually, you start finding if you use the right one, sometimes it actually starts suiting your personality and it sounds more like you. So maybe like Stephen would be the serious tone. We all know this is definitely Stephen. Jokes aside, Stephen, I don't know what one you'd be. You're a combination of about 6 of those, I think. Anyway, okay, so those are just more ideas to communicate with ChatGPT to get the desired results. 1 or 2 more things we're going to talk about. Prospecting scripts. So if you want to prospect, cold call, I've just used one simple example, and you don't know what to say, ask ChatGPT and see what script ChatGPT comes up with. Look at this one. I just wrote this one. I said, I'm a real estate agent. I want to cold call homeowners surrounding a new listing that I have in Durbanville. I want to tell them about the new listing and also ask them if they know of any friends or family who may be interested in moving to the area. So please write an example of a cold calling script I can use for this. Because this is a less daunting cold call. It's not, can I sell your house, or do you want to sell? This is, hey, I really just wanted to tell you I've listed. Anyway, and then I asked for a script, and it came up, okay, with a good script. You can use it or alter it or whatever. I mean, the reason for my call is that I recently listed a fantastic property in your neighborhood, and I thought you might be interested to know about it, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go into detail, but again, try this. If you need scripts for any calls that you're going to make, put the summary in for ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT comes up with. And it just carries on with the same script. And then at the end it says, remember to tailor the script to your own personal style and adjust the details based on the specific property you're promoting, etc. Okay, advertising campaigns. If you are prone to doing Facebook ads and Instagram ads, we use that quite a lot actually, but the paid versions, etc. So sometimes just use ChatGPT to come up with the content. Okay, so firstly I say, give me 20 examples of the most successful ads that were used by real estate agents to get seller leads. And it gives me a whole, just the headings of those ads of that ChatGPT found to be very successful. Are you selling your home? Get the best price. It's all the thinking of selling. Our track record speaks for itself. Ready to move on. Sell your home with confidence, and so on. So I could use these to create ads. There's a whole lot of them. Then I say, okay, so please create a 100-word ad based on number 10 above. Okay, 10 was selling made simple. Our innovative marketing approach will attract qualified buyers, etc. So it's about our marketing approach. And I ask, can you write a 100-word ad for me based on that, with the emphasis on our innovative marketing approach? So it knows what a sort of a catchy ad should look like. You can change it, but still, this is what an ad would look like. It's trying to get people to contact you or whatever. So there it goes. Selling made simple. And I'm asking that this is about our innovative marketing approach. Experience the power of our innovative marketing approach that attracts quality buyers. Our cutting edge strategies, digital presence, and targeted advertising techniques will maximize your property's exposure and captivate potential buyers. All extremely well written, and contact our dedicated team today, etc., etc. Okay, good idea. Here's another one. Write a 150-word Facebook ad for real estate agents Lydia and Andre Vorster from EXP South Africa in Durbanville to generate leads of home sellers thinking of selling their home. And then it carries on again. Now it's already got a little bit, it's gone and fetched some information about me and Lydia. It's actually quite apt. It found somewhere that we've got over 20 years of combined experience and so on. But there again, a wonderful ad promoting us and getting people to contact us. Personalized service, proven track record, etc. Don't miss out, and so on and so on. Okay. Some more ideas. Okay. When it comes to text and WhatsApp and email communication, we can use this in our daily lives. Here's an example. Please create a text message to a homeowner confirming his request for a CMA of his home, thanking him for the opportunity and asking when would be a convenient time. So a guy's requested a thing, you want to say, that's great. They often contact you on WhatsApp, so that's how they want to be communicated with. So there's a one-liner instruction to ChatGPT. How can I respond to this guy? To just say, thank you, and I want to do a CMA. And there it comes up in a wonderful message. Hope this finds you well. I want to extend my sincere appreciation, etc. To ensure the accuracy, I would like to arrange a face-to-face meeting on January. As I say, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it writes the whole thing just from my one-liner, and I can look at that and change it where I want, but without much effort. I'm getting great ideas to use. And here again, I just wanted to prove a point again. I said, that's great. That looked very formal to me. I wanted to extend my sincere appreciation for contacting me to request it. It sounded very formal. So I said, can you make the tone a bit less formal and slightly more conversational? And I just highlighted one or two things. This is, again, I'm just proving a point of what ChatGPT can do. So in the first one there, I wanted to extend my sincere appreciation for contacting me. In the light-hearted or more conversational tone, it changes it to, I just wanted to drop you a quick note to say a big thank you for getting in touch. So there it says, I'm truly honored to have the opportunity. And the more conversational tone, it says, I'm really excited about the opportunity to help you with this. So you're getting the idea. You can change this tone so it suits you. So it sort of reflects your personality. I'd like to arrange a face-to-face meeting with you. Other one is, I'd love to meet you in person. Okay, giving you ideas, I hope. Right, now here, please rewrite the following email message to my client, Peter. Keep in mind, I'm just giving you a bit of context for the sort of how this email will be written. Keep in mind that Peter is a highly educated professional, but we are on good speaking terms. Here is my email message. So then I think, okay, I want this email, but I'm not going to write, I'll quickly write that. Okay. Just a bit of feedback regarding your home's marketing. I've attached the latest statistics from our marketing efforts, and you'll see, and from the paid marketing campaigns, you will see there was no shortage of marketing effort, but with all the recent interest rate hikes, it's quietened down a lot. And if your situation becomes urgent, then let's chat so we can talk about a price reduction. There's my little paragraph, and let's see. Much more eloquent and much more, yeah, it's just much better writing again than I can come up with. Hope this sounds you well. I wanted to share some feedback with you regarding the marketing of your home. I've taken the liberty of attaching the latest statistics from our marketing efforts across various property portals and social media platforms and paid advertising campaigns. Rest assured, we have made significant efforts to promote your property. And so it carries on and on and on. And eventually it'll say, please do not hesitate to let me know. If you feel that your circumstances have become more urgent, please do not hesitate to let me know. In such a scenario, it might be necessary for us to discuss the possibility of adjusting the price to align, etc. So from our little paragraph, it's written a wonderful email that I can send to Peter. I can just refine it if I want to. So in our everyday communication, you can also use this. You can take, if somebody sent you an email this long, asking you certain questions and stuff, take that email, copy it, put it into ChatGPT, say, I've just received this email and I want to answer, in short, this is what I want to answer. But here's the email, please compile an answer for me and see what it comes up with. It can really speed up things. You're just going to get into the habit. Appointment reminders. So now you know you've got an appointment today. You would like to send a message. We're not all going to be using everything, but so please write a reminder WhatsApp message reminding a homeowner of our CMA appointment at their home later today. This might be a nice thing to have on your WhatsApp business as a sort of a standard thing, and you can just send it every time you know you've got an appointment. And there it comes. I hope this is a friendly reminder of our CMA appointment scheduled for 5 p.m. today. We're excited to discuss the market trends and so on and so on. Looking forward to meeting you and seeing your lovely home and so on and so forth. And just see you at 5 p.m. today. Best regards, Andre. Just there we go. Oh, so that's nice. If I wanted to send someone a message. Just going into I'm just showing the power of ChatGPT here. So we're going to go through this very quickly. But I want to show you, for instance, now you've often seen, people saying, click here to download this ultimate seller's guide, or click here to download. It's all just it's a lead generating funnel, right? So they want you to go somewhere, click there, put in your email address, you will get this seller guide, but it's all lead generation. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do this whole process for me. I'm going to show it very quickly. I'm going to ask it to actually compile a complete home seller's guide, then to compile an ad that I can place on social media to say, you really need this home seller's guide, and then a landing page on my website, if you have a website. Otherwise, you would simply use, Facebook does have forms that people can just fill in, and then an email drip campaign after that. So now they've received this, now let's keep in contact with them on an email drip campaign. So, an email every week or an email every couple of days and so on. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create the whole lot. So I said, please create a 15-page home seller's guide that I can give to sellers in South Africa. Provide enough content to create the complete guide. Also add a table of contents at the beginning and use headings and subheadings and all the other content to create a professional look. That's what I said. I didn't give too much information even of what I want in this. But so create a seller's guide that I do say is for people in South Africa. There it comes. I asked for a table of contents, and there it is. There's an introduction, understanding the real estate market in South Africa, pricing your property, marketing strategies, negotiating offers. This is now the whole guide, right down to legal considerations and tax implications, including capital gains tax and transfer duty. A South African spin because I said we're in South Africa. And so it goes on. And then now here comes the content. So it's creating the whole content as I asked. Full guide. I haven't got the whole thing here. Full guide based on all that. So now I've got a guide. What you obviously could do is now take this and put it in somewhere and make it a bit more glitzy, maybe add a couple of images and so on, just make it more professional, create a PDF. So now you have the guide that people that you can send to people. Now you're going to be using this as a sort of a lead bait, if you will. So right, can you create an ad now for me that I can place on social media? Let's see. Create a short social media ad that will prompt people to click on a link to obtain this guide. There you go. I mean, are you selling your home in South Africa? It's going to attract the right audience. Get the ultimate home seller's guide now. Typical ad. Click the link below. Don't miss out on this essential resource. This guide is your key to selling success. So grab your copy now, etc., etc. Okay, so now you've got an ad. So now people need to go somewhere to create a landing page. As I said, when they see the ad, they could just click and you could create a form within Facebook where they'll put in their details and you'll get the details and you can send it to them. I'm just adding the landing page in the middle because I would like people to go to a landing page on my website. The reason for that, quite technical, because I have a Facebook pixel on my website, so it tracks people. So eventually I can retarget those people again on Facebook. But anyway, so I just asked for a landing page. Please create a landing page for that. And it goes and now it elaborates again, taking that guide, a little bit of just making it more interesting again for people to sort of emphasize, yeah, I really do want this, and now they'll give you your details to receive this guide. Okay, now I say, can you create an email drip campaign to send out? I said one email every day. Well, okay, doesn't really matter, but I should probably have said weekly or something. Now you want to keep contact with those people, just any way you can. So I'm asking for an email drip campaign to send out. Create an email for each of the consecutive headings in the table of contents. So, okay, I mean, there, just for one sentence, I'm going to create a whole email drip campaign. So I can go and plug that into if you've got an email system like MailChimp, you can actually schedule them. Otherwise, you just have to go every week and go and send them to your database. And here we go. Certainly, here's a 9-day email drip campaign to follow up the day one that simply says, thank you for downloading. We're excited to have you aboard. I'm not going to go through all this. Then it's a little bit later on, it says, over the next few days, we'll be sending you a series of emails covering the various topics and so forth. There's number 2, understanding the real estate market. Today, we dive into the understanding the market. Keep an eye on your inbox for tomorrow's email and so forth. And so it carries on. So every day, it's just taking one of the topics, putting it in the email. Fantastic. I mean, this is with very little effort. Okay, now we're just carrying on. As I've mentioned before, if you want more recent data into ChatGPT when you're using the free version, ChatGPT does not always know very recent news or statistics. So you simply have to ask ChatGPT to write an article and then combine it with recent statistics that you provide. I've gone through this with that email. I've mentioned there are Google Chrome extensions available, and when you go and plug those into Google Chrome, you could activate them in ChatGPT and so on. I don't want to complicate matters now because people actually just need to get started with ChatGPT first. And then there's paid subscriptions, there's other apps that you can use. There are ways to get ChatGPT to use more recent statistics, but right now, with the free version, just give it the statistics that you specifically wanted to use. And then I've just used the same. I'm not going to go through that. It was the same email that I put out there, just showing with the interest rates and so forth. Okay, now here, a little bit of advanced. So we've been keeping the prompt simple, and you've actually seen that we've achieved very, very good results in any case, right? But the better you can get ChatGPT to know exactly what you want, the better the output you're going to get. Now, here's a very, very, very good trick. You can prompt ChatGPT to ask you questions. So for now, we've been asking ChatGPT all the questions. Why don't you ask ChatGPT to ask you some questions? So before creating content, you can make sure that ChatGPT actually knows you and your business so that any content created will be more personalized towards your business. So have a look at this. So I say to ChatGPT, this is me speaking. ChatGPT, I'm going to ask you to create various forms of content to use to market our business. But before I do that, I want you to really understand what our business is about. Myself and my wife, Lydia, are a husband and wife real estate team in Cape Town's northern suburbs. Please ask me 30 questions. Again, make it 20, make it 50. Please ask me 30 questions that we can answer that will help you to understand our business better so that you will be able to create better content when we ask you to. And there ChatGPT answers, of course, understanding your business better will enable me to create more tailored and effective content for your real estate team. Here are 30 questions to help me gain insights into your husband and wife real estate team. Then it starts asking questions. How did you and Lydia decide to start your real estate team? What specific areas or neighborhoods do you primarily serve in Cape Town's northern suburbs? How long have you both been working in the real estate industry? What sets your real estate team apart? So it's now asking questions, getting to know us and our business. And it carries on. Can you share some success stories? What are the most common reasons clients choose your team? How do you approach the process of understanding and meeting your clients' needs? Are there particular challenges of the local real estate market in Cape Town's northern suburbs? How do you stay updated with market? It carries on and on. It's asking you questions. You could even, as I say, ask it to ask you 50 questions. Right. Once it's done that, next thing is I now type back. Okay, here are our 30 questions. So we are specifically in Durbanville. We've been agents for 18 years. I'm just answering the questions that ChatGPT gave. So now just as an example, I say, okay, great. So now you know a bit about me. Now, based on that info that I provided, by answering your 30 questions, please can you write creative content for the About Us page on our website? I mean, how easy is that? So I've answered the questions, but now I can use those questions that I've answered. I can ask for all sorts of content, biographies, anything. Here I've asked, create an About Us page for our website. And there it goes. Meet the dynamic duo, Andre and Lydia from EXP, and who we are. And it starts. I'm not going to go through that, but it's quite amazing what it comes up with. That's funny. Sorry. So, I mean, that's a little bit more of an advance. I mean, there it talks about our superpowers. Nice. They say teamwork makes the dream work. Nice. Okay, so that's great. So what you're basically seeing is that it's all about the prompt, and don't get too complex in the beginning, but as you start becoming a bit more experienced, when you do that little prompt, instead of just saying, I want this, you can get a bit more specific and you'll just get a faster, more accurate result. So you assign ChatGPT's role, for instance. So you say, before you start, you say, I want you to act as my personal assistant, or I want you to act as my social media marketing manager, or I want you to act as this or that, my copywriter for advertisements. Immediately it puts ChatGPT in a certain frame of mind. Be specific about what you want, state exactly what your purpose is, change the tone to fit your style, specify the length of the output you want, specify the format. We've been through a lot of this, and then refine with follow-up questions. Always check facts. Once again, practice makes perfect. You will see very soon, I mean, ChatGPT is a system, but they offer connections to other websites. So even if you have a website, you could through an API, you could connect to ChatGPT, as I was also talking about the rip-off people. So you will start seeing ChatGPT appearing in various applications. So that's like I spoke about, we use PropCon as our CRM very early on. They're very sharp, Lawrence and Andre, they really are. So very early on in our CRM, they put in a little thing called PropBot. But it's not the own thing, it's a PropBot, and you can type things in there and it connects to ChatGPT and just asks ChatGPT and then brings it back. So it's just making life easier. So this you're going to see often, and it makes life easier. And then ChatGPT obviously charges a little bit of money for that. But yeah, so you'll see integrations like in PropCon's PropBot. In our situation in EXP World, in EXP Workplace, and FrameVR, we've got a little robot called Luna, does pretty much the same thing, and you'll see a lot of that. Okay, and then here's a whole list. You can look at this later. We'll send you the slides. We just talked about ChatGPT. There is so much artificial intelligence out there that can help our businesses. There really is a lot. Most of these, though, are paid subscriptions. I mean, you'll be paying per month. Now, if you were to go for all of those, it'll cost you hundreds of dollars a month. But you can experiment with a lot of them free. And who knows, maybe one or two of them that cost $10 or something would really be worth your while. But there's so many. That's that first one is the recent one I picked up, remodel.ai. You could just send it a photo of your existing room with lounge furniture because it doesn't look too nice and change it. Or you want to remodel a house and you want to say, they've got so many options on there of how you change a room. Or let's say you've got a vacant house and you actually want to advertise it with furniture in. I mean, you're allowed to do that. That's not false advertising. It keeps exactly the same room. And so that's one example. I mean, this second one, you eye contact on the camera. You train this app. You pay monthly, but you train this app what it looks like when you're looking up and down, but to keep your eyes on the camera. So then later on, when you're on a call like this, or when you're recording videos, you can even be looking there, but it shows you looking there. Anyway, amazing things. Dell-E, that's also a part of open AI, that you can create images simply by providing them prompts, exactly like you do with ChatGPT, where you ask for certain things. There you would ask, I want an image exactly looking with this and this and with a person standing there and whatever, and it'll create the image for you. There's lots of them. You should go and look at all of these. Opus Clip at the bottom there. Video and Opus Clip are pretty much the same thing. If you've got a long video, you just put it in there and it'll repurpose it into shorter forms for Reels and TikTok and so on. And it really goes and actually very intelligently goes and fetches, doesn't just go and cut it up, because then it doesn't make sense. It just ends in the middle of nowhere and ends in the middle. It actually goes and finds the right parts where it could take things out that make sense for 30 seconds or however long you want them. Anyway, lots and lots of undetectable.ai. This is very interesting, the last one, undetectable. Well, spelling mistake there. Anyway, so when you use AI very, very generically, even with us, it's not so apt because we'll be asking about Durbanville, so it's already becoming a bit more specific. But then now Google realizes, for instance, and for search engine optimization, Google realizes that a lot of people are going to be putting out a lot of content, and it doesn't want to reward you for that by ranking you on the search engines because it's not your content. So they've got AI that detects content that's been created by ChatGPT. They have ways because they know what generic looks like. Now you could actually take your content again and go to undetectable.ai, and it'll go and restructure it so that Google can't pick it up. It's a vicious circle actually. But anyway, go and have a look at all of this. You'll be surprised at what everything is available, especially cloning your voice for video scripts and things like that. Quite amazing. And that's it. Again, agents will not be replaced by technology, but we will be replaced by other agents that use the technology. So embrace technology or get left behind by those who do. That's it from our side.
Andre, that was absolutely awesome.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, and I've been watching the chat roll. Everyone is saying the same thing, that was a phenomenal session, really eye-opening. So guys, thank you for joining us. Andre, thank you again for your time. I'm really excited to hear the feedback from agents as they begin to use ChatGPT well. And from our side, we continue to look for great ideas for great training that we'll make available to the whole industry. Thank you for joining us today. Andre and I are doing something next Friday. You may get a phone call from one of us to invite you to come and join us on a smaller group discussion that we want to have, but we're going to select certain agents that we want to have that discussion with. So if one of us calls you in the next week, please do take that call. We want to invite you to attend something with us. But otherwise, that's it. We'll see you next time we put some training on. God bless you all. And if you've got questions, hit it up in the Facebook group. That's the place where we can have ongoing conversation now. But yeah, for now, that's it. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day.